Oh my god! What other dramas are BTS's Jungkook and Jimin hiding? Full of secrets. No one was ever really prepared for a day when Jungkook and Jimin's names would once again take the Korean entertainment scene by storm. However, in reality, every time these two BTS magne lines appear in one sentence, the world seems to stop breathing. There was something that always felt mysterious, hard to guess, and kept the army on the edge of its seat, waiting, guessing, and guessing. And now, a new whisper is circulating. Oh my god, what other drama is Jungkook hiding with Jimin? The question haunts the timeline as if there is something bigger than just daily rumors about these two close friends. Everything starts with a seemingly ordinary moment. A small interaction, a smile that disappears too quickly, a look that seems to harbor something that cannot be said. For ordinary people, it may be a trifle. But for ARMY who have been following BTS's dynamics for years, they know full well. Nothing is really a coincidence when it comes to Jungkook and Jimin. There was a distinct energy between the two, something inexplicable in words, yet felt powerful, intense, and vaguely full of secrets. Rumors of this hidden drama began to heat up when some fans noticed their changed interactions. Jungkook, who is usually boisterous and spontaneous around Jimin, looks a little more cautious. Jimin, who has always been the easiest person to read other people's feelings, seemed to deliberately keep his distance on several occasions. And every time the camera highlights both, there is a kind of invisible atmosphere that makes many wonder, what is really going on between them? Sources close to the music industry began to give small pieces that further fueled curiosity. Some cited the possibility of old disagreements re-emerging. Others said that Jungkook and Jimin were actually preparing for something big. So big that they had to keep it a secret from the public for a while. Even more extreme is associating it with an internal conflict, something that never imagined would happen between two people who had been seen so close. One of the rumors that made ARMY the most was the allegation that Jimin and Jungkook were actually facing great pressure due to personal decisions that had an impact on the group. Some suspected that Jimin was hiding something that only Jungkook knew about, and therefore the two were seen talking seriously more often backstage. There was also speculation that they were both involved in a secret project, a project that most of their staff did not even know about. And the most surprising, rumors that there was a small conflict developed into a big misunderstanding, and now they are trying to fix it before everything leaks to the public. However, behind all the speculation, there is one thing that cannot be denied. Jungkook and Jimin's closeness has always been full of stories. They are not just co-workers or fellow members, but two people who grew up together in a harsh, stressful, and expectation-laden world. Since their trainee days, Jungkook and Jimin complement each other in ways that few people know. Jimin has always been where Jungkook tells the story of when he was an indecisive teenager who was brought into the K-pop world too quickly, while Jungkook becomes someone who makes Jimin feel needed, seen, and meaningful. Such a relationship is impossible not to experience ups and downs. The pressure they face is not normal pressure. The world stared, judged their every step. And in such a situation, even the closest relationship can crack over any little thing. Things that for others may be able to talk about in passing, for them can be a high wall that is difficult to break through. Some ARMY suspect that this drama is not because of the conflict, but because both are preparing something very personal. Some have linked it to BTS's post-military future. Others have linked it to comeback plans that require the two to work more intensely. The wildest rumors even say that there are big decisions about personal careers that make the two have to discuss alone, without involving other members first. What is clear, every movement of the two is currently being watched with a magnifying glass. During one of the live broadcasts, Jungkook briefly mentioned Jimin's name in a different tone than usual, slower, more cautious, as if he was afraid to say something that shouldn't be said. Jimin was seen holding back several times to answer questions about Jungkook. In a BTS world that is usually open about friendship dynamics, these kinds of attitudes immediately sparked a wide conversation. But is there really a big drama they are hiding? Or is this just the ARMY's interpretation of a small change that doesn't actually mean anything? The answer may be known only to both. Their relationship is not a relationship that can be explained by cameras or short footage. Jungkook and Jimin know very well how to protect each other from excessive highlights. They know when to speak, when to be silent, and when to disappear for a moment in order to keep the peace between them. There is a high probability that this drama is precisely the process of growth. They are no longer the same teenagers they once were. They have gone through various phases of life, the world stage, industrial pressures, to the never-ending international spotlight. Perhaps what the world sees as drama is actually their way of rearranging friendships to remain healthy, stable, and mature in an environment that never leaves room for error. What is clear? This mystery keeps the world staring at them, not because of the cheap sensation, but because Jungkook and Jimin's relationship always leaves many questions that never get a definite answer. They are too close to be called simply friends, too intense to be called ordinary, and too deep to be deciphered with just a camera clip. Until now, no one knows what the drama really is. But one thing is certain, whatever secrets they keep, they are important enough that they choose to hide them very carefully. And the army, as always, will continue to wait, not to force an answer, but to see how the two figures who have always managed to steal the hearts of this world face the storm together, again and again. Until the mystery unfolds, one question will continue to hang in the air. Oh my God, what other drama are Jungkook and Jimin really hiding? And while the world was still trying to guess what was really going on, a small detail again sparked a big debate among the army. A change in the way they called each other. Jungkook, who usually calls Jimin in a spoiled, warm, and slightly joking tone, now sounds more formal. Jimin did too. He was no longer flirting with Jungkook like he used to. Small changes that are only felt for those who really pay attention, yet are enough to make the entire fandom tremble full of question marks. Something's off. It's like something you want to hide. The army felt it and the world felt it. Even on the few occasions where BTS have appeared back together at major events, Jungkook and Jimin seem to be maintaining an emotional distance. Not because they're out of harmony, but because they seem to be holding something back from being read by the public. A secret, a conflict, or a big decision that hasn't been announced yet. One of the moments that sparked the most uproar occurred when backstage cameras captured Jungkook appearing to be having a serious conversation with Jimin. No laughter, no smiles, just a look too deep to be called a light discussion. Jimin seemed to be holding back something while Jungkook seemed to be trying to calm or reassure. The short snippet instantly turns the timeline into a field of endless speculation. Some army speculated that their relationship was being tested by a huge pressure unknown to the public. Some say that they are both facing a harsh reality. The future of the group is getting closer to a new phase after all the members have completed their military service.